Hello everybody, my name is Alan from Sauber-Lab, and in this video I'll ask why it's good to have a server in your house. Okay, in one of my previous videos I explained why you shouldn't have a server in your house and what situation that you want to have a server or not, or at least a NAS. And in this video I will go a little bit more in depth why it's interesting to have your NAS in your home, what's your gain on it, and in this video I will put something in the screen that will be a little bit better to understand, then only I will explain why you need to do, why you don't need to do, and continue on. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video, but first of all, don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed, and let's understand a little bit more about it. Before I started to show this video, you're gonna ask, Alan, you already explained a few videos about how I can assemble my NAS, what I should do about my NAS, why I should have my NAS, and I will say yes. But this one, it's a little bit different format and potentially will help you to understand a little bit more about why it's so interesting to have your NAS and why you should have your NAS in home. So if you guys come here my screen, the first thing, why have a NAS serving at home? And this one I will focus of 2025, half of 2025, to explain a little bit more about it. Didn't change so much, but at least we'll try to give a little bit more information for you. So first of all, let's come here and let's try to explain what is NAS, or basically why I want to have a NAS. So what is a NAS? The name say NAS, it's a network attached storage. And what it means, it's a storage attached to your network, accessible for everyone. So it's a storage connected to your network, what allowed you to have access for anywhere in your network, but not only in your network, anywhere that you want to have access. You can configure it to have access. Also, it's one only place of truth. You know that all the data is exactly in one place and you can access it. Different for you have different computers, and each computer have their own data. You know that everything centralized one place and everyone can access it. And this come the second option, access for any device. So you can access from your computer, then you can go for your laptop, then you can go for your tablet, you can go for your iPhone and other things, and for Android, and basically anything that you can connect to the network, you can access it, and it make release and create your personal cloud. Basically why I put this picture here, it's let's say a simulation for a server or a NAS, and that's all the devices connect exactly in the same place, and everything it's exactly the same place. And you know that if you wanted to find the latest folder, or if you wanted to find all your data, or you wanted to scan all everything that you have and you want to find it, it's in only one place, instead of let me check in this computer, let me check in my phone, let me check this, I don't know where is it, maybe it's the latest revision, I download something else, or I scan something else. You know that it's only there and you can organize it. But before we go ahead, let's do a small quiz for you guys to see if you know exactly what is NAS, okay? So here in my screen I give four different types of device. The first one will be the mini computer, what is a NUC or anything that you want. The second one will be a Raspberry Pi, the third one will be a laptop, and the fourth one it's a desktop, a server, or anything that have this shape. And now I'm gonna ask for you, which ones that you think that can become a NAS? If your answer is all, yes, it's right. So let me get this, and this one could be a NAS. Yes, this one could be a NAS. This one could be a NAS. Yes, this one could be a NAS. The same thing for this one, and the same thing for this. All of those can become a NAS. And what is common between everything? CPU, remember, network, and more important, hard drives. And this reason that I put this hard drive, not necessarily that West Digital is one of the best ones, but you need to focus for a nice hard drive device. The hard drives that's dedicated to run as a NAS, because they will need to be run 24/7, or at least all the time that set up to be on, and more important, different for your normal device, all the users will be connected to only one hard drive. If you have two computers and each one have one hard drive, if that computer is on and you're running something that one, that hard drive will be on. But in this case, if two computers try to access a similar data or same data set, you're gonna be able to access through the same hard drive. This reason that you need to look for a trustable hard drive. And let's try to understand now why it's so interesting to have a NAS and why maybe I want to have one. Basically, automatic backups. Instead of you try to backup your computer daily or weekly or once a month, and you forget sometimes, you have more updates or you do something more often and you need to plug your external hard drive, copy everything. You don't know if you can overwrite the previous data. With a NAS, you have application that do it. You can manage different revisions. You can manage your backup to start automatically. You can use, let's say, duplicate to make sure that all your data is sync for your server. You can have Nextcloud, have other applications that will make sure that all the data for one place it's copied in another place. Always try to follow the 3-2-1 rules, but sometimes it's not possible. What means 3-2-1 rule? It means that you're gonna have 3 copies of the same data. The first one will be the live documentation, live data, what you normally have access. The second one will be a local backup, and the third one will be a cloud backup. It's quite difficult to make sure that this 3 is working, or at least you try to have 2. Let's say that you have your live documentation, have an external hard drive that you connect it, and have the second external hard drive that once a month you send, I don't know, in your parents' house. Or you have 3 computers that run, and one of those will be backup and other one external in someone else will do backup. So in this way your data is protected and you know that they will do automatically. You don't need to do anything, and if it don't work, you're gonna receive notification. So if the worst happen, you have your data. Also, phones, PC, all the important documentation is only one place. You know that if you wanted to have a file, in my case, all my family files or all the family documentation save only one place. I don't send WhatsApp, I don't need to keep in, let's say, Google Drive that I don't know what they can do with my data. Everything in one place and everyone can access. If I'm traveling and I want to see my daughter's passport, I can go there and access it. If I need to get my drive lesson, I can go there and access it. If I want to get my insurance information, I can only access it. And this reason that come the centralized media. Everything in one place. You can have movies, photos, folders, documentation, everything one place, and that is accessible for your phone, TV, and other things. Also, you can configure remote access. You can have, let's say, Nextcloud, and Nextcloud you can use SSL certification to expose that Nextcloud for the cloud, and that you can access it anywhere that you want. Also, if you want a little bit more layer of safety or security, you can use a VPN. You can use the WireGuard, OpenVPN, that will make your connection quite simple, but you need to expose some ports. If you're not confident to expose any port, you can use that tailgate 0 tier that will do exactly the same job. You're gonna have a VPN, the speeds will be a little bit affected, but you have all your data and you can run it, you can use it, you can do anything that you want. Also, your privacy. In my point of view, privacy is the more important of all these steps. You know that your data is with you, you have control of your data, and you know that everything you manage it. If, let's say, Google Drive or Google Photos, they can use your picture, I don't know if they use or not, but they can use your pictures for machine learning, and that's, I'm not happy for it. They can scan your data, the same thing that I told one of the previous video. One time I put some videos with a name or a title for a movie, let's say, and that Google sent me alert, please remove this one because potentially you infringe the copyright. Like me, that was not a copyright information, was only something that I put a similar name and that Google search and find it. And once that they do it, I become a little bit scared, because if they know the name of the file, they search it and give notifications, potentially they can scan my data and make sure or read what is there, and I'm not happy for it. So let's go for the next one. Let's say, who is the important person to have a NAS, or who would like to have a NAS? Family. If you wanted to have all your media, photos, everything in one place, I'll give you one example. I love to take pictures, and I like to travel, and sometimes I don't feel confident to have only the pictures in my phone. Or sometimes I take too much pictures, I forget to back up everything before I go to my holidays, and I say, okay, my phone is full. What am I gonna do? With those applications, let's say Image, Photo Prism, and other things, you know that you can click for do auto backup, and that all your data will be in your NAS, and that you can remove it from your phone without needing to worry about your data to get lost. Also, not only for family, for photographers, people that really work with this. Let's say that you wanted to go for a really far away, only to get some pictures. You take those pictures, but you only bring 2-3 SD cards. And after your trip, your SD cards is full. What do you want to do? If you don't have a NAS, you need to try to drop it in the cloud. I don't like to drop in the cloud. What other option that you can do? You can back up your computer. But if everything is full, what are you going to do? Basically, you're going to need to remove or delete something that could be potentially interesting for you. So this reason that the NAS comes so useful, because you can only drop in the cloud different ways, but you can drop in the cloud and you know that it's there. Also, it's for students, people that is doing articles, people that is trying to do some information, some thesis, anything that they want to do, and they wanted to keep all the data in one place. Let's say that you wanted to have a book, you wanted to have some studies that you do in some exercise, you know that will be in only one place, and you don't need to worry if you go for your work and want to access something, to do something. Yes, you can access. If you are in your home, you can do the same. If you go for your school, you can access exactly the same data without the need to bring your pen drive, without the need to bring your external hard drive, because all those devices can break. Let's say that you are walking and your hard drive fall down in the floor. Yes, potentially your data is lost. Not necessarily that it will get lost, but have a high chance to do it, and to recover it's quite difficult. Principally, if you have some information that you are studying or doing something, or your files, that's quite important. In this way, it will be a big loss. Also, it's tech enthusiasm. People that want to learn, people that want to do automations, people that want to run different containers, try different things. Let's say the same as me. I like to run different containers. I would like to try different things, and sometimes work, sometimes don't work, sometimes it's the way that I want, sometimes it's the way that I don't like. The same thing for this application. I start to like this application more and more because all my data, all the information can only draw there, and that's helped me to find all the information potentially. I don't know if you guys like or not. You can see all what I'm explaining. It's not look like that I only create something, or it's not look like that you only see my face. You can see pretty much what I'm talking. And other thing, and it's more important, what I already told, control and security. You know that you have control for all your data. You know that if you wanted to turn off your server, and that's after 1 month you want to turn on, the data is still there. The data is safe and secure. Of course, if you do backup, it will be a little bit more secure, but still all your data is under your control. So now I explain why it's interesting to have, but what is the best option? It's the best option to buy one pre-built NAS or to assemble my own NAS. And the answer is depends. Depends what's your goal, depends what you want, and now I will focus more for build your own NAS because it's something that I'm more keen to do. So if you build your own NAS, you have more flexibility, you have more full upgrade control, you can get anything that you want, as I showed before. You can get an old laptop, put more RAM memory, you can put some hard drives, connect external hard drive, or can get those cases that connect by USB, and all the data is there, and you make your NAS. You can have a Raspberry Pi that have 4 ports, and you can connect 4 hard drives. You can have an old computer that, let's say your old game computer, instead of get rid of this, you can use it for your NAS, because normally most of the NAS don't use so much power unless you do some specific applications, or unless you want to do transcription, unless you do a lots of power hungry activities. If you only go directly transmission, let's say in your Plex, you don't need it. If you have things that will not process so much, you don't need it. Once that you start to get more and more users, let's say you host your website and to try it, and because your website starts to get more and more access, yes, maybe you're gonna need to upgrade, but most of the time your hardware will get you for a point that you learn. Your hardware will give all the information, everything that you want. And as I told, you can reuse anything that's old, anything that you find in your house, you can use for your start. And after time, of course, you can get a more powerful system, you can get better RAMs, better CPUs, better motherboards, better hard drive or more hard drives, and that's configure your system. On the other side, if you get everything pre-built, it's easy to set up. It's plug and play. You get your Synology or Ugreen or Knapp or anything. You can only get this one, put your hard drives, turn on, and that's a wait for the setups, the steps, and it's done. It's really user-friendly. You don't need to worry about configure separately all your permissions. You don't need to configure all your folders. You don't need to configure a lot of things. Basically, they just work. But you have a cost for it. It's more expensive. Yes, it's more expensive. One of the previous videos that I post, I showed the difference for build exactly the same spec computer, you own build it, and to buy a NAS pre-built. And you're gonna save around 500 for a NAS that could cost 1,000. You're gonna spend 600, 700 for exactly the same setup, same configuration, and you make a little bit saving for it. Of course, you're gonna need to learn. Of course, you're gonna need to make sure that you configure it. But in the end, I have Synology NAS, and either with my Synology NAS, I still have a lot of application for the Docker. I know that all those applications that I have in the Docker, you're not gonna find directly in the App Store for any Synology NAS or App Store for Ugreen, App Store for any NAS that you already buy pre-built. And this reason that you still using some Dockers, you still use some configurations, only it's much simpler. And also you have some support for the manufacturing. You know that if this stops to work, it's easy. If it's still warranty, you can send for warranty, or you can call them and say, oh, it's happening, how can you help me? And if you're building your system, you are responsible for everything. You need to make sure that everything is working, everything is under your control. So in this way, we arrive at the end of the video. Before we finish this video, I would like to ask if you guys like this style of the video that I'm starting to post. I slightly changed a little bit compared for the previous one. If you leave your comments, I will try to read, I will try to understand, and that I will see if it's worth to keep the same style or I need to change a little bit. So if you like this video and think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like. Consider to subscribe for the channel if you didn't subscribe yet, and see you next time. Bye.